All right, so welcome back to this week's weekly webinar. I'm Jason Yarusi of Yarusi Holdings, and each and every week we bring you a new webinar talking about any and all things related to multifamily. So before we jump in here, make sure you go down there, hit that follow button. Make sure you go down there, hit that follow button so you're alerted each and every week when we come out with a new webinar. And again, I'm Jason Yarusi of Yarusi Holdings. We're a multifamily investment firm here in the Southeast, focused on repositioning multifamily assets. And today we're going to talk about how to analyze a multifamily investment. And we're going to try and break this down just into actionable chunks. So ideally, when you're coming into an investment, you've already now realized where you want to be investing and what kind of project that you're looking to find. Many times that I see investors stand to be on the other side of finding that investment because they're out there in the blue ocean searching for any and all things multifamily, but they're not dialed into exactly the opportunity they're seeking. So today, for the sake of this conversation, that we're going to assume that you've dialed in on the market that you will be investing in. And within that market, you're dialed into the type of investments that you're looking for. So once that has been done and you've brought yourself two opportunities, whether it be through your direct marketing or through some of your connections out there within the market or through a broker opportunity or through a listed opportunity, there's going to be a number of things that you want to look at. So when you do find that opportunity, number one is going to be getting the actual financials on the property. So this might come down, there may be an offering memorandum that's put together by a brokerage team that gives you the overall scope of the project, what's happened on the property for the last few years, some of the context of why the seller is selling, description of the property, the current financials, what kind of construction has been done. Well, the important piece is getting the actual financials. It's going to be the rent roll and the trailing 12 or a profit and loss. And what this is going to allow is going to give you a starting point, a jump off point to see where the property is and the performance or the rear looking performance of the property coming to today. So when you take over the property, you'll have an idea of where you're going to start. So you're going to take that. There's going to be part of your analysis. Using that, you are going to form projections. This is going to be projections of where you see future rent growth or where you see the ability to increase rents through your improvements that you desire, and also where you see the trending expenses. So all these pieces of the puzzle are what you are going to need. So you're going to need the actuals, and then you're also going to have where you project future rents and expenses and some of those assumptions on growth for future years past that. Included in that is that you're going to have to dial in on some of the non-controllable and controllable expenses. So example of non-controllable expenses will be your taxes, your insurance, your utilities, and controllable expenses will be everything from admin to marketing to contracts. So as you dial this in, you will be able to start formulating where you are, right, your actuals, with an understanding of where you can look to go with your projections and your assumptions. Next piece is the construction. What is going to be the rehab or the construction budget or the construction items and the cost associated with that to be able to reach these future growth assumptions and projections. So that's going to be another piece of the puzzle. So far we're going to have to be able to get the actuals. We're going to have to be able to make our assumptions for growth and also our projected expenses and rent and expense projections. The next piece is a construction budget. Past that, we are going to have to look at the debt. With this project, noting the type of project it is, what kind of loan would be best to suit this property? Now, when I say that, note that I said what kind of loan would be best for this project. It's not that we find a loan and that loan is going to fit in each and every project. Each project will have a different loan structure that's going to be better suited for it. Some will be better for permanent long-term debt. Others will have a construction debt or a short-term debt. Others may have a mix, right? You could have credit unions, banks, bridge lenders, Fannie or Freddie. There's a number of different options you can use from a lending environment, but understanding your project, you can look at loans to say, okay, what's going to be best to make this project a success? With that, as part of the loan conversation, is your business plan. What is your business plan? Is this a quick flip? Is this a long-term hold? Will you be holding this for 1 to 2 years, 3 to 5 years for the foreseeable future, right? This will all be part of your business plan so you can understand what kind of loan model will fit this. So again, we have find the actual financials, determine projections and assumptions for the project, what kind of construction will be needed and the costs associated with this, what will be the debt piece that will be part of the project, how can we look at what type of loan would be best suited for the project, what will be our overall business plan, and then lastly, with all that said, what are the desired returns that we will be seeking to meet based on the type of project that we have in front of us. So if it is a repositioning play, what kind of returns will we be seeking, and also will our investors be seeking for this type of project? With that, you can build backwards to the purchase price. So if you assume today that you have the actuals, you have your projections, you have your assumptions, you have the type of loan that you're going to put on there, your business plan, and the type of returns, well, if the project fits in that box, you meet the returns, great. If that purchase price you were given today does that, well, then you might have a path forward with that offer. If not, then you're going to have to look at how can you find a better suited purchase price or terms that are going to help you with this offer made to the seller, if in fact there can be one made. So as you do this, those are the key pieces on a high level for what you can do. If you want to dive in, learn more about how we get into detail, right? Because that's our 1,000-foot, mile-high view of how we look at underwriting. If you want to talk more and learn more about us and our team, come over to Yarusi Holdings. We're happy to talk to you about us and our process, how we determine investors, and how our investors benefit from these investments made. Go down there, hit that follow button, go to yarusiholdings.com. Be happy to talk. And again, this is this week's weekly webinar. I'll get that straight. How to analyze a multifamily investment. Let's do this.